talking about Skadi today. I just recently reread Lost Belt 2 and that shit was hype. That shit goated for real. And the best part about it, my girl, Skadi. For any FGO fan, Skadi don't need no introduction. She's the queen of quick. I've been trying to summon her on the JP version of the game since she came out, and I only got her last December, so I've been wanting this servant for years, for real. But I got her immediately on her initial banner on NA. So I'm biased to this servant. I love this servant. This servant eluded me for years and I finally have her. So let's get into it. Let's get into the lore. Skadi is a fusion of Skahak and Skadi, the Celtic warrior and the Norse goddess. This happened because Odin in the Lost Belt, after being beaten by Surtur, was like, damn, I need someone to look after this place. Fusion dance, bitch. So she was the queen of Lost Belt 2, Scandinavia. In this Lost Belt, she wanted to build a world of love in the desolate wasteland that was Lost Belt 2, filled with nothing but snow, ice, and giants that wanted to smash every living human left. There was only 10,000 humans left alive in Lost Belt 2, separated into villages. Skadi, during the entirety of Lost Belt 2 and the 3,000 year history of the Lost Belt, spent most of her strength keeping Surtur sealed. This meant she couldn't actually develop her Lost Belt past its initial point. And when Skadi said she wanted to build a world of love, she truly meant it. There was no killing in her Lost Belt. She would make it a utopia for the remaining humans. Friend or foe, she would love them all the same, and she viewed even Chaldea, who seek to destroy the land she spent a millennia cultivating. She still loved them. Man or woman, adult or child, even gods and mortals were all the same in her eyes. And even before she learned of the outside world's existence from Ophelia, she knew her world was an abomination, abnormal, and meant to be pruned away. However, that did not stop her. She wished to preserve her miracle at any cost. However, her pride would not allow her to obliterate the enemies she needed to preserve this. She allowed Napoleon and Chaldea to freely roam her Lost Belt and basically did not attempt to neutralize them at all. She was in fact extremely passive to them and actively stepped in to protect them from Surtur in the body of Sigurd when they were in her presence. Skadi decided to love Chaldea despite the resistance they posed to her rule. She would even go as far as inviting them into her home. In addition to this, she also shows her love to the inhabitants of true human history. She recognizes that Ophelia lacks love in her life, and in addition to this, she manages to save Sigurd from Brynhildr, even though Sigurd's spirit origin was destroyed by Brynhildr's spear. In addition to this, she holds Sigurd and Brynhildr's spirit origin together using her runes, and also, with the help of Sitoni, manages to hold off Surtur's attacks, while at the same time giving Chaldea her strength so that they could defeat Surtur. Despite her best efforts though, she does in fact fail to save Ophelia, despite truly wishing to, as the Cyrus Light was completely beyond her abilities. However, despite this love, she still does truly value her 1,000 subjects. She values them so highly she will sacrifice all of true human history just to protect them. Despite breaking her oath to never kill people, she does engage in battle with Chaldea as they attempt to destroy the Lost Belt tree. Despite this, she is not at full strength and actively holds back against them, as her pride would not allow her to kill Chaldea using the methods available to her, like the Death Rune and all of the powerful runes she does possess, as she is a master of rune magic. So basically any rune we see used in Lost Belt 2 is basically just an inferior version of what she could produce. Despite her immense strength, fully cementing her as a Lost Belt king, she still lacked the power to cultivate more than 10,000 humans. She had to watch over the 3,000 years of her rule, as she had to sacrifice all the humans after they turned 25. Skadi's strength is astounding. Ophelia is completely convinced in the supremacy of Skadi within her Lost Belt. Ophelia is even confident that Skadi would defeat Canis in the battle, despite Canis also being a divine spirit. In addition to this, she is able to amplify Sigurd's noble phantasm Gran to be able to perform feats that he alone believed would be completely impossible. Of course, she also is a master of ruin magic, possessing all of the runes bestowed upon her by Odin himself, and she was able to keep Soto sealed for 3,000 years, as well as being capable of supporting the remaining population of humans entirely by her own might. Despite this, Skadi laments herself as a failure, as she is unable to protect her world or grow the population of her subjects. She simply lacked the strength to do anything more than what she was initially able to accomplish, and as such, her world was doomed as it was completely stagnant and incapable of growth. However, despite this, she puts it all on the line when she battles Chaldea. Despite not being fully recovered and having healed Chaldea herself after their battle with Surtur, she does it anyway. She doesn't even use her most powerful abilities, as she truly loved everyone with her lost belt. Even during her battle with Chaldea, she was using what was left of her strength to heal her lost belt, heal its people, heal its land, and barely had any magic left over to battle the Chaldeans. However, the biggest impact Skadi left on me after reading Lost Belt 2 was that she was truly dedicated to her love. It wasn't just a facade she put on as a front for a cruel interior. This can be pretty clearly seen in what is possibly the most depressing but powerful moment in the Lost Belt, which is the very end. The last we see of Lost Belt 2 is Goda, the human girl who had been helping Chaldea since they arrived, simply leaving her home and going out into the wide open world. And right as she leaps into the air, she vanishes. Her lost belt is gone, and so is all of its people and its history. However, even at the very end, all of its people had faith in the goddess's love and protection, which does in fact feed into the kind of overall idea that Chaldea is in the wrong for trying to restore human history. As we learned in Lost Belt 1 and all the Lost Belts really, its people, its humans, are just as human and worthy of being alive as anyone in pan-human history, which, as its ruler, is Skadi's biggest accomplishment. So yeah, the ending of Lost Belt 2 do be a bummer, but that's okay. Within Lost Belt 2, we get to experience the love of a mother goddess, and for me at least, I get a good feeling knowing that even at the end, she still had that love for the humans, for humanity, from proper human history. So on that note, I'll see you around. Be good people.